Every 6 to 7 years, the economy resets. It's not a maybe, it's a pattern that's repeated for over 100 years. And every single time, the same thing happens, the people who aren't ready lose the most. Their savings evaporate. Their jobs disappear. Their investments get cut in half. But here's what nobody tells you, the people who prepared. They actually get richer. So which group do you want to be in? In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what a recession does to your money, how it hits your job, your savings, and your investments. Then I'll give you the 3 accounts you need to bulletproof right now, before things get shaky. And at the end, I'll reveal the number 1 mistake that wipes regular people out during downturns, a mistake that feels smart in the moment but destroys wealth. Quick note, I'm not a financial advisor, and this is for education only. But stick around, because this is the plan I wish someone gave me years ago. Let's start with the reality of what actually happens when a recession hits, because most people only understand it after it's too late. It always starts with jobs. When the economy slows, companies stop growing. They freeze hiring, then they cut costs, and cutting costs almost always means cutting people. Unemployment doesn't just tick up a little, in a real recession it can jump by millions in a matter of months. And here's the scary part, even if you keep your job, your raises stop, your hours can get cut, and that side gig you were counting on can dry up overnight. Now think about what that does to your savings. If your income drops or disappears, you're suddenly forced to live off whatever cash you've stored up. And this is where most people get exposed. Bankrate found that 59% of Americans can't even cover a $1,000 emergency without borrowing. 59%. So when a recession hits and the paychecks slow down, more than half the country is one surprise bill away from real trouble, credit card debt, missed rent, borrowing from family. Then there's your investments. When fear takes over, the stock market drops. In past recessions, the market has fallen 30, 40, sometimes 50% from its highs. If you've got money in a 401k, an IRA, or a brokerage account, you'll open the app one day and see a number that makes your stomach turn. Your balance looks like it got cut in half. And this is the exact moment people make their biggest mistake, but we'll get to that. Here's the thing I want you to understand, a recession is not the end of the world. It's a cycle. The market has recovered from every single recession in history and gone on to make new highs. The danger isn't the recession itself, it's being unprepared when it arrives. Job loss with no cash cushion. A market drop with no plan. That combination is what turns a rough year into a decade of setback. The good news? Every single one of those risks can be managed, if you set things up before the storm, not during it. Okay, enough of the doom. Let's talk about how to actually protect yourself, because this is where you take back control. There are 3 accounts you need to bulletproof, in this order. Account number 1, your emergency fund. This is your financial oxygen mask. The goal is 3 to 6 months of essential expenses, rent, food, utilities, insurance, sitting in cash you can touch instantly. If that number feels impossible right now, don't panic. Start with $1,000. That single grand puts you ahead of more than half the country and gives you a buffer against the most common emergencies. And here's a key detail most people get wrong, this money should not sit in a regular checking account earning nothing. It belongs in a high-yield savings account, where it can earn real interest while staying completely liquid and safe. This is where a high-yield savings account from a bank like Ally or CIT comes in. These are FDIC-insured accounts that pay dramatically more interest than a big traditional bank, many times the national average, while letting you withdraw your money whenever you need it. I'll drop a link in the description if you want to open one, it takes about 5 minutes and there are no monthly fees. Your emergency fund should be earning for you while it waits. Account number 2, your retirement account, and specifically your 401k match. If your employer matches contributions, that is free money, a guaranteed 100% return the moment you put money in. Even in uncertain times, do not stop contributing at least enough to get the full match. Walking away from a match is like turning down a raise. During a downturn, those contributions are actually buying stocks at a discount, which supercharges your recovery when the market bounces back. Account number 3, a taxable brokerage account with cash ready to deploy. Here's the mindset shift: recessions are when assets go on sale. The wealthy don't fear crashes, they wait for them. If you have your emergency fund locked in and your match handled, keeping some dry powder, cash you can invest when prices are low, is how ordinary people build extraordinary wealth over a cycle. You don't need to time the bottom perfectly. You just need to keep buying steadily while everyone else is running for the exits. Quick pause: if this is helping you, do me one favor and hit that subscribe button so I can keep making these free. Okay, back to it. Now here's the part one really need you to hear, because it's the difference between recovering and being permanently set back. The number one mistake that wipes regular people out in a recession isn't losing their job. It isn't even the market crashing. It's this: panic selling at the bottom. Let me paint the picture. The market drops 30%. The news is screaming that it's the end of the world. You open your investment app and your 401k looks like it lost years of gains in a few weeks. Your brain is flooded with fear, and every instinct is telling you to sell everything and stop the bleeding. So people do exactly that. They sell. They lock in the loss. They turn a temporary paper dip into a permanent, real loss. And here's the cruelest part. The market almost always recovers, and it recovers fastest right after the worst days. Some of the biggest up days in stock market history happened during recessions, right in the middle of the panic. If you sold and stepped aside, you missed those days. Studies have shown that missing just the 10 best days in the market over a couple of decades can cut your total returns roughly in half. So the person who panicked didn't just lose during the crash, they missed the recovery that would have made them whole and then some. The second version of this mistake is stopping your contributions. When people get scared, they stop investing entirely. But a downturn is exactly when your regular contributions buy the most shares for the same dollar. Stopping is like refusing to buy your favorite groceries the one week they're 50% off. So how do you avoid this? You decide your plan now, in calm times, and you write it down. Your plan is simple: keep your emergency fund liquid so you never have to sell investments to pay bills. Keep contributing to your match. And when the market drops, you do nothing dramatic, or if anything, you buy. The people who follow that plan come out of recessions richer. The people who panic come out poorer. Same crash, opposite outcomes, and the only difference is how they prepared. Let's lock this in with a quick recap. 1. A recession hits your job first, then your savings, then your investments, and being unprepared in all three at once is what causes real damage. 2. Bulletproof 3 accounts, an emergency fund and a high-yield savings account, your 401k up to the full employer match, and a brokerage account with cash ready to buy the dip. 3. Never, ever panic sell at the bottom, and never stop contributing when things get scary. That single discipline separates the people who get wiped out from the people who get wealthy. A recession isn't something to fear if you're prepared, it's the single biggest wealth-building opportunity most people will ever ignore. So here's my question for you, drop it in the comments: if a recession hit next month, how many months of expenses could you actually cover right now? Be honest. 0, 3, 6. I read the comments, and I want to know where you're really at. If your answer scared you a little, start with step 1 today: open a high-yield savings account and move your emergency fund somewhere it can actually grow. I've put a link to the accounts I mentioned down in the description. It takes about 5 minutes and there's no fee to start. And if this video helped you feel a little more in control, subscribe. I post practical money videos every week to help you build wealth no matter what the economy does. Remember, this is education, not personalized financial advice, so make the moves that fit your situation. Now go bulletproof those accounts. I'll see you in the next one.